Hey, we back. What's up, everybody?
Like we never left.
And it's your girl Mignon.
And like we never left. I'm Corey. I was into the We Back dance.
Yeah. We're back with another episode of Tea
and Worship. Just the tea, right? I ain't drinking that because I don't know who made it. But this is the tea, and we got the worship as well. We want to welcome you back. We are so glad to be back for officially the 5th season of Hope TV, but our actual 2nd season. So we're so glad that you joined us last week for the first episode of our new season. But also we're back because of you, because you've been watching us, because you've been liking, you've been sharing. But we want you to continue. So make sure you hit that like button right now. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you can get the reminders. And make sure you share this. Share this with friends, families, co-workers, your aunties.
Your cat. We want them to watch too.
Okay. Everybody, but make sure you share it because we want you to be watching this good show. We ain't seen you in a while.
New hair, a new body, Yeah.
Mignon the Stallion. Minnie the Stallion.
No, for real. But last week, our very own pastor released his album, God Period. Woo! And might I add, it is incredible. I mean, we went to the listening party, and listening parties, you're only supposed to play like snippets. My God, they played the entire record.
They had to because the people were like,
it was so good.
Can I hear more?
Yeah, they kept saying, play, keep playing.
And I'm gonna be honest, Minnie. Normally you expect the album to be, 3-4 songs, maybe at best, that you're like, oh, those are really good. And I honestly thought they would play 1 or 2. And even though it's you, Pastor, and we love you or whatever, but I'm gonna be honest, I thought there would be like 1 or 2 songs that I was gonna be like, can you skip that? But no, every song I genuinely
album
love.
Fillers.
Yeah, exactly.
It might have been 1, but I mean, even the album filler was good.
Yeah.
It was really very versatile. You gave us the pastor and then you gave us the artist, and it's just incredible. So if you do not have it, shame on you. Go get it. E. Dewey Smith. Go get God Period. All right.
Go get it. Please go get it. Now, without further ado, we want to welcome our guest for the day. I want to do the intro.
Introduce me right now. I'm gonna stop you if you don't.
Can you just like I was saying, I want to introduce our guest for the day. No stranger to Tea and Worship. No stranger to Tea and Worship. No stranger to you all. A singer, a songwriter, a producer. She does vocals. She got her own vocal company. She got all kinds of things going on. Has worked with pretty much some of everybody. Like if I named the whole list, we wouldn't have enough time in the show to name the whole list. She's a mother, she's a wife, and she's a great person and happens to be my co-host. I want to welcome our guest for today, nobody else but Mignon Sarton.
Woo!
Give it to her. I want to see some claps.
Hey, Corey.
She's gonna give me too much today, but we're gonna try to pull this in. We're gonna try to pull this whole thing. Now we know that Mignon is one of our hosts here at Tea and Worship, but we couldn't do this show without being able to interview the Mignon Sarton. Now she didn't want to do this. It was like pulling teeth because she don't like to talk about herself or talk herself up. She one of those types. But we had to have her as a guest because she has done so much in the industry and she's continuing to do so much. And she's so talented and such a gift to the body of Christ and to the world. So we had to have her here as a guest. And you had no choice but to agree to it because
no choice.
I wasn't gonna let you do anything else. So now we have Mignon. Mignon, I am excited to have you here because I've actually known you probably know this, for about 8 years now. Literally 8 years. And I'm gonna tell you, the first time I met this lady, we worked together on the Bravo Nene Leakes wedding, or I guess it was like the remarriage to her and Greg. And shout out to and rest in peace to Greg Leakes, and shout out to the family for the passing of Greg Leakes just recently. But we were able to work on that wedding series, and that's where I first met her. Now we didn't really have a lot of interaction because it was like 50,
it was a lot of
50 people I think that sang at the wedding. But I did meet her, and I knew a little bit about her. I had heard of her, but really didn't have much interaction. Then fast forward to House of Hope. she had already been at House of Hope, but I didn't know her then. And then I was at House of Hope, and then she came back to lead worship, and we became acquainted with each other through that. And now she's my friend, and we're here co-hosting the show together. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy how God works? So, Mignon, do you remember anything about that wedding, that situation, that Bravo series?
I do. I was excited. Who was it? The Seed? Was it the Seed
Yeah, it
Choir?
was a Seed Choir.
With Greg Kirkland.
Yeah.
He was actually the person that introduced me to House of Hope.
Yeah.
The wedding itself was amazing. A lot of stars, of course. And I think, did I sing a little bit?
You did. You at the end when they were walking through, you led. I don't even remember what the song was.
I can't
Some
remember.
song, but we sang. I know, like it seemed like probably was like 5 minutes, but it seemed like we sang 30 minutes because people were walking past us.
But yeah, it was beautiful. I had a good time.
It was great. A great moment in history, and glad that we could be a part of it. Now, Mignon, some people out there might not know this, but you are a PK, a preacher's kid. And we know that your dad is somebody that is world-renowned, Bishop Bolton. So can you tell us what it was like growing up in that type of household and having to sing pretty much every Sunday, I'm sure, every other day, I'm sure?
Well, the life with the Bishop Bolton was a box. We couldn't do much of nothing. It was church, and they trained us to where church was like a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So like during the summer times, we would be in different cities and different states, but not to vacate. It was to go to church. When like we was out, having a good old time, it was church. So my life was we couldn't play spades because that was like gambling. We couldn't listen to R&B, and it sounds harsh, but it really, really benefited me as an adult now. And I'm really grateful for the way that I was raised because now I know I balance things out better with my children. I do allow them to listen to certain things or do certain things that I couldn't do, but just make sure that that it's a good balance there, because there are some things now that I lack because I didn't have, some of those things, or I wasn't open to some of those things. So it hindered me. It hindered my knowledge of certain things as I got older. So if you notice, like I don't talk a lot about worldly stuff because I didn't really grow up with that. You know what I'm saying? So I really have to research things to know about it. So I do allow them to, have that balance. So
she's not kidding, because we could name like some random song and Mignon is like,
don't know.
Right? What is that? And it's like everybody literally knows the song. She has no clue.
My husband laughs at me about it all the time.
And it's not even a game. She's not playing. She really has no clue. So Mignon, growing up in that environment with, preachers for your parents, and then having to sing gospel all the time, was there ever, being as talented as you are, was there ever like an inkling where you were like, maybe I don't want to do this, maybe I want to sing something else, maybe you did want to do, some R&B or something different?
I never really wanted to sing R&B. I didn't mind like doing studio. I didn't mind that, but actually traveling with the R&B artists or actually doing R&B music, that has never really been my interest. Now, R&B music, it interests me because I listen to background. So that it draws me to that, the music, and then the backgrounds and the colors that, that it creates together. It draws me in that way, but I've never really desired to be an R&B artist or anything like that. The only person that I really, 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 really love is Brandy, and of course Beyonce, but Brandy is really that one because of the background vocals.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
looking at those areas of how you became who you became, and then looking at what were all the influxes that interfered with all of the stuff. We don't like to do that. That's too much work, Selena. Sometimes you have to take it in small pieces, in small fragments. You can't just run through it and say, okay, let's merrily do this work. It'll be fun. No, it's not fun work. It's painful. But we have to do it to get through it.
So, getting away from that, but, you grew up in that environment, and you also, of course, have sung with some, if y'all didn't know, she's sung with J.J. Harrison, James Fortune, she's worked with John P. Key, she's worked with Charles Jenkins. I could probably go, she worked with the Clarsons, she's worked with some of everybody. Is there anybody in particular that you worked with that, that was just that person that you were like, oh my God, that you were like almost floored yourself that you had the opportunity to work with them?
Kim Burrell.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not even really just the working with her part, but the fact that after I did work with her, she called me back to come in the studio with her, in the booth with her, to help her, help vocal produce her. And I'm sitting there going like, what? You want me to help vocal produce you?
Beginning and the end, Kim Burrell.
Right. Gotta have something in the middle. But yeah, that part right there floored me, because like you said, I never really boast, I'm saying, I'm not pushing myself up, or, I just never really seen myself like everybody else, saw me. It's now only really been since in my late 30s that I'm just now really embracing who I really am.
Wow.
So yeah, that's been like the most amazing moment of my career, was that moment when she called me. That little big thing, her calling me, wanted me to come in the booth with her.
Now, a lot of people I know, I would have been like, you want me to do what? I was like, I probably would have ran away, because Kim Burrell, you want me in the booth?
Right.
I don't know about that. So we know that you're married to Mr. George Sarton Sr., and you have 3 boys, and your husband is also a musician. Mm-hmm. So what's that like, being in such a musical household? I mean, I guess you grew up in it, so you're used to it, but being married, now that you're an adult and you're married and you have children, what's that like?
It's a headache. I try not to sing at home because I don't have to. My boys sing 24/7. It's like nonstop. If they're not singing, Gabe somewhere beating on drums. Me and George, we hardly ever sing.
That's crazy.
We don't sing. I can't even say hardly ever. We don't. Wow. We don't sing at home. It's not until we go to church, and then when the boys go to bed, and then we prepare for worship. Mm-hmm. But just singing around the house, the boys do it. So my house, literally, I don't have a living room. My living room is a stage. Yeah, it's a stage. They move my couches out the way. They find boxes, and they place the boxes down as speakers, monitors, and they use my socks for towels and sweating, and they use my vacuum cleaner for a mic stand. So everything in the house they use. I can't find my forks and spoons because those are the mics. So I just buy plasticware now. What? Yeah, because my silverware disappeared.
Wow. Now, many of us know her as a worship leader, of course, and she's the director of worship and arts at the House of Hope Atlanta. And you led worship at several other places like Elizabeth Baptist Church, Oasis. You led there, correct? Or no?
I did, but not as the leader. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So with that experience, do you feel like that experience has grown you or matured you in any kind of way?
Absolutely. My first experience with praise and worship was here at House of Hope, and used to singing devotion, bless that wonderful name. I came from that, and I came from a small church into 7,000, seater doing praise and worship. So of course, starting out, it was just singing. I was just singing. None about praise and worship. I just could sing. I was just singing. So that taught me that I couldn't just lean and depend on my gifts. But I actually had to know the Bible. That people don't just want a song. They don't just need a song, but they need word.
Right.
So it taught me to get in my Bible, build my relationship with God, because these people are looking and wanting for something. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they don't know what they're wanting. They don't know what they're need, what they're looking for, and they're depending on us to be able to give it, to them. So, and the only way that I'm able to do that is by having that relationship, being able to hear God in those moments. So, doing praise and worship really has taught me that I need more than just a song. I need more than just my voice, but I need the word.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we definitely, that does make the difference. So I think a lot of times people do feel that, I can sing, I can do this, I can do that, and they think that's just good enough. But when you got people that are depending on whatever's coming out of you to get them through or to get them closer to God, just being able to sing good is not enough. It's not enough. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of a turn here because we did mention that she led at Elizabeth for a while. But I want to talk about this moment where it's an embarrassing moment, but I want to talk about it because they're just me. But you remember this one time at Elizabeth Mignon when you had a little spill? Can you talk about it?
Well, see, the Holy Ghost was present, okay? And I knew the Holy Ghost had left me, and I put the mic down and I walked away. But the minister of music at the time wanted to keep going. And I was shaking my head. I said, no, I'm done. It's over. I'm done. No, go back out. So I gone back out there, and not even 60 seconds later, I was on my face. Because now at this point, flesh is just singing. And I'm like, I told you it was over, and I just slid the home base on my stomach. So, yeah. And it was Easter Sunday. The B service, standing room only, full of people.
Mm-hmm. And it's on video. It's recorded.
Stop it.
It's recorded. Hopefully I can pull it up and I'm gonna let y'all see it, or whatever. So But now, Mignon, you sung with everybody, and you worked on everybody's project. The people want to know, when is the Mignon Sarton project coming out? That's what I want. That's what I need in my life. That's what y'all want, right?
I'm actually working on it now. And I actually co-wrote with some amazing people. Eric Dawkins, Sean from Boyz II Men. What? Yeah, my husband, and then a young lady named Faith Anderson.
What?
Yeah, we all wrote on one song. It's called Waited, and it's actually lyrically done. The music is almost done. So hopefully that will be a single, because it's amazing. The record that I'm trying to do, I don't want it to be, I know everybody know me as worship leader. Mm-hmm. That's kind of been what I've been these past 3 years, especially with the pandemic. But this record, I wanted to tell a story. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to just be church. Now that.
What kind of church you going to? Puppy Pound?
People want you to holler and scream and lose your voice.
That's true.
But I want to actually tell a story, and I want not just a story, but my story. Mm-hmm. So each song is intentional. Each song is going to talk about something specific in my life. And so the song You Waited is special to me because I've waited for a lot of things, and I've continued to wait. And the Bible says good things come to those who wait, so it's not always a bad thing that you have to wait. Just know in your wait that in due season, you shall reap. So while you're waiting, just continue to plant those good seeds. I know you can get frustrated and, want to give up. And I did that plenty of times, threw the towel in, plenty of times, said, forget it. This ain't for me. This ain't what God wanted me to do. I'm just going to do praise and worship, be a mommy, be a wife, and that's it.
Wow.
But in due season, God will start bringing the people and the things that you need in order for the promise that he made to be revealed, to manifest. I remember a couple of years back, Pastor does that. Didn't I tell y'all it will be all right? And I think this might be the first time that I actually did. It'll be all right. The Greg's part. And I remember saying something like, remember. God is saying, remember what I told you. Remember what I said. And that's how you can agree that it's going to be all right. Because I remember he said, boom, 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 boom. He said, I will have this. He said, I will do this. So yeah, it's going to be all right. It don't look like it right now, but it's going to be all right because he said it.
Wow. You said a lot there, especially, with waiting, because I think a lot of times we want, the promise of God right now. We want the manifestation right now. I got to see it now. But, the great thing about God is that he's going to give it to you when it's time. And it's just like a fruit, if it's not ripe, you pick it off the tree, you bite into that thing, it's gross. Yes, but when it's ripe and it's ready to be picked, it's delicious.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Have you seen more people now trying to do wills and estate planning now that we've gone through, are still going through the COVID-19 phase of our lives?
I've seen a lot more people trying to do that, to have wills, to have healthcare directives, to even to the point of having living trust. For example, a will goes through probate, so it's public knowledge. But trusts are not public knowledge, so families are really starting to take a hard look at what if I'm incapacitated.
I want to know about your company, your business, Embellish Sounds. Tell the people about Embellish Sounds, please.
Yes, Embellish Sounds is my heart. It's my baby. It's literally everything that I needed, you know, in the start of my career. Embellish Sounds is literally a platform for creatives, a platform for singers who desire to make singing a career for them. It creates platforms to making your dreams come true, singing with artists that you didn't think you ever would, you know, sing with. And not only just that, but we offer vocal training, mentorship, you know what I'm saying? And then one of the things that I know I needed in a mentor was somebody to tell me it's okay to say no. It's okay to not accept everything. You know, that's one of the things that killed me even vocally, was feeling like I had to say yes to everything. And now everything that I've learned, I don't want to die with it. So I asked God to give me some people that I can pour into. And I told him, I was like, with this company, I don't want just anybody. I don't want people that feel like they've already made it or already arrived. I said, I want people whose hearts are pure, people who really desire to do this, to really desire to do ministry, you know. And but another thing is that Embellish Sounds is not just gospel music, you know what I'm saying? We do what's the bands, corporate bands. So we do corporate band music, R&B, jazz, you know. And the amazing thing about Embellish Sounds is that we literally have all of that in there. They can sing literally anything, you know. We have an educator in there. We were learning something for Israel. You know, Israel does a lot of Spanish and stuff like that. So when we heard it, we was all sitting there going. And then one of my singers just stood up and started just teaching it to us, and we were sitting there like, I said, see, this is what I'm talking about. God literally has given me everything, you know, that we need, and you know, and I'm just really excited about Embellish Sounds because it's just seeing the people flourish and seeing them blossom, seeing them grow brings me much joy. And to know that I actually have people that I can pour into and not die with everything that I have, you know, that God has given me, it brings me great joy. So I'm excited about Embellish Sounds.
That's awesome. I was very happy. Yes, look them up. Because I remember when you were actually talking about, you know, doing it, and I was so happy for you and excited because I know that you are a perfect person to have a platform like that and to be able to pour into other people. And I know that that's like just a part of your heart, you know, to be able to see other people flourish. And she didn't even mention the fact that, you know, that they were featured in the Aretha Franklin Respect movie. They recently did Praise in the Park. I was gonna say parking lot because I've been joking with her, but Praise in the Park recently. And tell them some of the people that y'all work with, like just in the little bit of time that you've even had this company.
Well, for Praise in the Park, we worked with Charles Jenkins, Israel, Monica Lisa Stevenson, Edoy Smith. and
Heavy
aligning,
hitters.
yeah, and then Jules, and it was just incredible. But we've worked with Kirk Franklin, Isaac Curry, an R&B artist. I can't mention his name yet because it ain't out yet.
Okay.
It's so many more. I mean, just follow us on Instagram and
Just
you'll
name
see.
dropping.
Yeah, you asked me the name.
You did.
Hallelujah!
Really? That's what we doing? Is that what we doing? It's an inside. Yeah, y'all might not get it. But something's wrong with her, as you can see. But no, that is awesome. Like, I want you to mention the names because I want the people to know, like, some of the people that you guys have been able to work with, and just the short time that you've even been come together. Like this, that's amazing to me. That is amazing. Well, before we go, Mignon, I just want to for you, because of the all the things that you've done, and I know that you're inspiration to many singers, many artists, many musicians, producers. Could you give the people some words of wisdom, some kind of inspiration, just to be able to? Because a lot of people aspire to do some of the things that you have done or that you're doing, and give us some words of wisdom.
Absolutely. So even to go back to the whole waiting thing, even with Embellished Sounds, the year that I was launching, which is supposed to be in Vegas, the pandemic hit, and so immediately I went into the depression. Yeah, and to be honest with you, like people had decided not to go to the actual Stella show to come to the Embellished Sounds launch because the lineup was so crazy. It was just going to be amazing. But I immediately, went into a depression because I'm like, now if you told me like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you allow me to get all this together, and then you allow a pandemic happen. So for almost 2 years, Embellished Sounds went silent.
Wow.
Because I just was fighting that spirit, of depression, and just fighting that what if, am I doubting, all that fear. But instead of me laying and resting there, God was like, get up, prepare yourself. So even when you're in those hard moments, when you're in those moments of confusion, in those moments of doubt, push through, prepare yourself for the other side, because you're going to come out of that. But you have to know that you're going to come out of it. And so when you come out, where will you be? How prepared will you be? You know what I'm saying? You have to allow something that has taken somebody else out, allow it to blow life into you. So don't let it tear you down, but let it strengthen you. Let that moment teach you wisdom. Learn from that moment. Learn what you shouldn't have done, what you should do. Take those moments and research. Because that was one of the things that I did. Instead of laying in the mess, laying in my tears, laying in doubt, I started doing research. I started going, well, what do my team need? You know what I'm saying? So when we do come back together, what can I present to them? What can I do for them in this pandemic? So many things were given to us, taking advantage of the moment. You know what I'm saying? With the Zoom calls, with emailing encouraging words, just, emailing them, even when I would start seeing like other artists looking for singers, or other artists looking for, talent, I would send them those things. Hey, audition for this. Hey, audition for that. Because even though I may not can do what I want to do at this moment, it still doesn't cause me to lock my hands up and still not think about them. Right. So there are other ways that I was still able to, reach out to them. So just start being creative in those downtimes, in those moments, and don't let defeat take over your mind, but just use those opportunities to grow wisdom and build and so, and just prepare yourself. Just you have to get into position to be ready for when the floodgates open.
Now, she always tells us that she doesn't talk a lot. She's not a talker, but you see that she has all these words of wisdom. She's dropping all these gems and all these nuggets upside your head for you to be inspired by and to take heed to. So make sure you do take heed to it. But we want to thank so much our guest for today, Mignon Sarton. Thank you so much for actually doing this. She didn't want to do it, but we encouraged her, and she finally said yes. But we're so glad that she came today. It was great. It was amazing for you to be here. And we also want you to know, we want you to join us next week for Tea and Worship. Now, things are going to look a little different. So don't be, alarmed. The set's going to be a little different. We're going to be a little bit uplifted, okay? A little bit elevated, huh? The elevator. We're gonna be brought up a little bit. So do not be alarmed. You're gonna love it. I promise you, you're gonna love it. And before we go, we're gonna shoot you over to a performance by the Mignon Sarton. So make sure you check that out before we go. But thank you so much for joining us for Tea and Worship. Make sure you come back and see us next week.
Can I jump in?
Jump in for what?
As a host, can I help? Can I close?
You realize that I pretty much hosted this. You the guest. What you gonna jump in for? Why is she jumping in now? We'll see y'all next week. Thank you for coming to Tea and Worship. We'll see you next week. She trying to jump in now.
Because I want to.
Have a good night, y'all. Because you don't even want to do right when you're supposed to do right.
Lord, you are good. You've been so good. Lord, you are good. You've been better than good. I can't praise you enough. See, I owe you my life. I can't praise you enough. Even if I try, 'cause, oh Lord, you've been so good. You've been amazing. Oh Lord, you've been so good to me. Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Lord, you are good. You've been so good. Yeah. Lord, you are good. You've been better than good. I can't praise you enough. I owe you my life. Can't praise you enough. Even if I try, 'cause you've been so good.